Okay, here we go. NSCA Chapter 24, Facilities and Equipment. This one's pretty straightforward, although there are a couple areas where you have to dust off those math skills that you never thought you'd have to use again. So with this, excuse me, the first question asks about a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. It's generally written up as like a 4-quadrant diagram. And what you're looking to do is come up with the strengths and the weaknesses and the opportunities and the threats for your business, both internally and externally. Though many times when you look at a SWOT analysis, when you look this up, the actual strengths and the opportunities are usually listed as the internal drivers, and the weaknesses and the threats are the external drivers. When I teach this from a business standpoint, I tend to teach it from you have strengths that are internal, you have opportunities to increase, basically increase efficiencies within your business. There's also external opportunities that you can capitalize on outside your business. You have weaknesses within your business, and then sometimes there are weaknesses within the industry or surrounding area that you can capitalize on, and many times those are dumped into the opportunities quadrant. And then threats. Those are almost externally driven, but many times you'll have internal threats that can be driven by poor management. The leadership team is not so good. Perhaps you have some issues internally with your employees, or some issues internally in terms of operations. So when you look at a SWOT analysis, like I said, usually it's written as internal versus external, but I'll tell you, you can almost make each one of these binary in nature, make them internally focused and externally focused. But the big thing that it does not include is time. So the T is threat, not time. Which of the 4 phases of designing take the most time? This is pretty straightforward, especially now where you can't find any labor to build anything for you. You can't find anybody to build a house for you. God knows you can't find anybody to build a business for you. So construction is going to be the hardest thing for sure. According to the ADA Act, and I look at this question and a couple other ones, and I urge you to kind of look at some of the fitness facilities you're in, including ours, and see if we are within ADA requirements. This should be 36 inches, and I would say we're pretty good. In our facility, we have a couple areas where maybe we have to move some equipment around. Equipment through time or through usage over time does tend to walk a little bit. Put your fingers in quotes. People drop the weights, people clang the weights down, and every time we do, there's a little bit of a vibration. And because the floor, although it looks level, it is not. Equipment will shift and move, and I have referred to that almost the entirety of my career as equipment walking across the floor, because it'll just kind of like creep right across the floor slowly. But with this, you're looking at a minimum of at least 36 inches for ADA. All right, it's recommended that health and fitness facilities be designed to maintain a background noise below how many decibels. So with this, I can tell you our facility, it's loud. I mean, it should be in general below 70, but it shouldn't exceed 90. And I'll tell you, there's times where guys are in there throwing weights around, and the way the floor is laid out and we don't have anything to dampen the noise in there, it's probably closer to 100, I'll say this. But in general, facilities should be 70 decibels. All right, so you have 3,000 people. Here's your math. You have 3,000 members, and you need one piece of cardiovascular equipment for every 4 members. So it's real easy to look at this and go, divide 3,000 by 4, and that's going to give you 750. Well, that's not any of your answers. So you have to parse this out from the book, and you look at the common practices that they provide on 636, and this becomes, okay, you have 3,000 members, and you have to multiply 3,000 by 25%. And then the second step here is you take that 25% times your 1/3 or 33%. And why in the world they just didn't make this a lot easier, I don't know. But you come up with a multiplier. and you have your 3,000 times 25% gives you 750 times 0.33 gives you 247.5, and you divide that by 4 because you want one piece for every 4 members, and that gives you 61.875, right? Simple, easy, to the point. So it's 62. So why not just say 0.0825? 0.33 times 0.25 will give you 0.825. Don't know. I didn't write the book. But nonetheless, 3,000 times 0.25 gives you this. 750 times 0.33 gives you this. 247.5 divided by 4 as per the requirements up here in the question, give you 61.875 or 62 in this example. I would presume any questions you see on the NSCA exam will have different numbers, perhaps 4,000 members, perhaps a 1 in 3, whatever that may be, but just realize that this is a multi-step process, and what you're looking for is 1/3 and 25%. Those are your two main numbers. All right, so with this is pretty straightforward, right? Common recommendation is this. You should have one circuit training area for every 1,000 users. So if you have 3,000 members, you have 3 groupings of 1,000, or you should have 3 circuit training areas. Number 7, what's best grouped together? So you have to look at these, and before you even get into what page it's on or anything else, you have a leg, an ab, and a leg. You have an upper body push me, an upper body pull me, an upper body push me, and then core. Upper body push, lower body push, upper body row, lower body pull, put your fingers in quotes, single joint. Push me, kind of a push me, if you will. It's more chest. Push me with legs, and then leg extension, it's legs as well. You kind of classify that loosely under push me as well. So with this, on 638, if you were to look at it, what they're looking for is this. They're looking for upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, and it's push, push, pull, pull. And in some regards, you can even parse this out and, pick on it a little bit and say this should be a push me, pull me type of sequence, going from upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. But the way the book has it written out, they have it written out such as this. Okay, which of the following cardiovascular machines should be placed furthest from a television? This one's going to be pretty straightforward. You're standing upright, you're furthest away, so you're not inhibiting the view of people who might be on the bikes behind you. So the treadmills will be furthest back. Now, if you had a step mill like we have in our facility, we have 4 of them, where you're pretty high up, those should be the furthest back from the TVs. Dumbbell rack should be placed at least how many inches away, just so you don't whack the mirrors with the dumbbells, and that's going to be 6 inches. Number 10, most popular, and it's going to be cardio. Everybody goes in, they do their cardio equipment, and so to that end, when you look at aerobic equipment, that's going to be your priority for purchasing. And with equipment in general, many companies will sell you the equipment, which has a certain or different type of cost structure to it, and you'll have a depreciation curve that you'll have you can write off against your taxes in case you own your own facility, or you can lease the equipment, and every 36 months you turn the equipment over and they give you new equipment, so you have new technology. And it seems like a treadmill should be a treadmill, but they have new screens, new technology, new earbud integration, and to that end, if you lease, it's an ongoing incurring cost that you just kind of factor into your business, but you're going to get new equipment every 3 years. So it's kind of up to the owner of the facility on how they want to do that, if they want to own and depreciate or lease and write off. All right, guys, have a great one. Thank you so much.